Eric here at Team Eccentric, and bring you guys a Phantasm Spiral deck profile. This deck is very, very fun, very budget friendly as well. It just allows you to play stun on a really low budget, and facilitate OTK is all, you know, it's a deck that's more so mid-range, I'd say, because you kind of stun your opponent out in the beginning of the game, and then once you can facilitate an OTK, you go in and you get aggro. So that being said, I am bringing you guys a side deck as well, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what you could potentially side in this, as well as an extra deck. So we're going to get into the profile. We're going to start it off with the main deck. We're only playing 5 monsters. We're playing 2 Phantasm Spiral Dragon. This is the card that allows you to OTK, or at least put a lot of damage on the board. It's 2900 beater with level 8. It's basically, in order to get this out, you meet the requirements of the 3 equip spells that are in the deck, which you will see momentarily. This card puts a lot of damage on board. You equip an equip spell to this and it just goes off. It's amazing. So we play 2 of those, and then after that we play triple Megalo Masher X. This is essentially just a body that you put on the board to beat over your opponent's guys with. You equip this with one of the equip spells and it facilitates and gets into this, and then you just go off. So that's actually it for the monsters in the main deck. There's only 5 of them. It's actually the ratio I play. I only play 2 of the Phantasm Spiral Dragon because I feel like if you play 3, then you're going to clog with it and it's going to brick. So then after that, we play triple Pacifist, the Phantasm Spiral City. Essentially, the way this card works is when it's on the field, if you control no tokens and your opponent activates a card, you can special summon 1 level 8, 2000 attack, 2000 defense token to your side of the field. And also, when a normal monster is normal or special summoned to your side of the field while this is on board, you can search a Phantasm Spiral card, which you can see how that generates a lot of advantage and puts you turns ahead. So it's pretty good. After that, we're playing 3 Heat Wave. This card puts you so far ahead of your opponent, it's not even funny. You activate this, neither you nor your opponent can normal or special summon effect monsters until your next turn. The only downside about this card is this has to be the first card you activate in your main phase 1 of that turn. However, it's still pretty good, still optimal in this deck because you're not playing any effect monsters in the main. So that's the thing. After that, we're playing 1 of each of the equip spells. We're playing 1 Phantasm Spiral Wave, 1 Phantasm Spiral Crash, and 1 Grip. So I'll go through and explain what each of these do. So Phantasm Spiral Wave, you equip this to a normal monster, and the first time it would be destroyed by battle in that turn, it is not destroyed. Also, at the end of the battle phase, you can special summon your big guy, the Phantasm Spiral Dragon, from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Then after that, Phantasm Spiral Crash. This one, you equip it to a monster, and when it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon again Phantasm Spiral Dragon. Also, it does piercing damage, so as long as you can successfully destroy an opponent's monster and do battle damage to them, this essentially, no matter what, will get you your Phantasm Spiral Dragon because it does piercing. And then last but not least, and in my opinion probably the best one, the Phantasm Spiral Grip. You equip it to a normal monster, gains 500 attack points, and when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, then you get to special summon again Phantasm Spiral Dragon. So you just play 1 of each of those because they're all searchable. You know, I mean, I was considering bumping this up to 2 in testing, however, it never really comes up as necessary in my personal opinion. So now we're moving on. We're continuing on with the spells. Triple Terraforming, get to the Pacifist as soon as possible. Triple Fossil Dig to get to your Megalo Masher X's as soon as possible. And then 1 Upstart Goblin just to draw cards because it is imperative that you see certain cards in this deck. So that's it for the spell cards. Now we're getting into the traps. We're playing 3 Phantasm Spiral Battle. Essentially, in a way, the Phantasm Spiral trap cards are like mini evenly matched, where if you have a normal monster and the field spell on board, they can be activated from the hand. So essentially, what Phantasm Spiral Battle does is, if you have a normal monster on the field, you have to have a minimum of 1. You can flip this, target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. If you have Yumi on the field with a normal monster, then you can activate this from the hand. And also what's really cool is when this is in the graveyard, it allows you to, as a quick effect, banish it and equip a face-up equip card to a different monster that it is appropriate to. So for example, if you had Phantasm Spiral Dragon equipped with an equip spell, you can banish this and equip it to a Megalomasher X to increase its attack points, or do whatever the equip spell does. It just allows you to essentially switch equip targets with the equip spells. After that, we have triple Phantasm Spiral Power. Essentially what this card does is, it's almost like a mini breakthrough skill, combined with an evenly matched. Essentially you can activate this card from the hand as well. It's the same condition as Phantasm Spiral Battle, where if you have Yumi and a normal monster, you can activate this from the hand. However, as long as you have a normal monster on the field, you can flip this, your opponent's monster. You can target it, negate its effects, and its attack and defense are reduced by 1,000. So when this card is banished from your graveyard, by the way, you can equip an equip spell card, or what is it? Basically, when this card is banished from the graveyard, you can equip one equip spell from your graveyard or your hand to a normal monster you control. So it's essentially like, it's almost like a Zodiac Whiptail type effect with equip spells when you banish this from grave. Then after that, we are playing a small Paleozoic lineup, 2 Canadia, 2 Linoides. I just figured that these are the most, one for one Paleos. Essentially, Linoides is backer removal, Canadia is like a Book of Moon. I would be playing the other ones, but I don't want to maximize too much on the Paleos because then the deck becomes a little cloggy. But what's cool about these is these are also counted as normal monsters when they hit the field. So if these hit the field while the equip spell is on board, you can search for a Phantasm Spiral card, and on top of that, they just facilitate a lot of the necessary plays for this deck to function. Last but not least, for the main deck trap cards, we're playing triple Reckless Greed because A, it draws your cards, B, it triggers the Paleozoics. Then we're playing triple Storming Mirror Force because Quaking's not good anymore because of Link era. General Mirror Force doesn't really work because people are playing the Nightmares, and one Nightmare prevents cards from being destroyed by card effects. And just drowning. I mean, you're gonna try and keep your monsters on the board, so drowning doesn't really do much. However, storming is actually pretty relevant. After that, for the last 3 trap cards, each one of us, 1 skill drain, 1 warning, 1 judgment, just because being that these are counter traps, they're just really, really good. And then skill drain just shuts your opponent out of the game. So now we're getting into the extra deck. Most of these are Cherries targets, but some of them can be made. So we're gonna start off with the links. We're playing 1 Link Spider because you are playing normal monsters. So if there's any kind of weird scenario where you want to link into a Link Spider to special summon something from the hand, you can. After that, 1 Starboy, just in case, so you can make your guys big. 1 Underclock Taker, again, just in case. I mean, this is more so for Cherries target because some people do play this. After that, 1 Spiral Double Helix, 1 Trigate Wizard, 1 Curious. That's it for the links. Essentially, from here, these are makeable, and these are all Cherries targets. For the Exceeds, we're playing 1 Galaxy Tomahawk because this card is busted. So Cherries, activating Cherries and getting this out of your opponent's extra deck as soon as possible is optimal. 1 Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon because pendulums are a thing, and just being able to make this and go into a Vortex Dragon is pretty good. So again, getting this out of the extra deck is imperative. 1 Minerva because Light Sworns are still a thing. 1 Baguska. This is actually makeable in the deck, however, it's not really, it doesn't ever really come up, so it's just kind of a Cherries target in case. 1 Dante because Burning Abyss is a thing again. And then from here we have Paleos. And the Toad. The Toad can be considered a Cherries target, however, this is just strictly for the Paleos. That's it for the Exceeds, and then for the last 2 extra deck cards, we play 1 Saffron Lord Omega and 1 ABC Dragon Buster. Essentially, these are just Cherries targets. So that's it for the extra deck. Now we're getting into the side deck. Like I said, this is stuff you can consider siding. If you're taking this to like a local, it's just something to consider. So First, we're starting off with Triple Gamma Seal. I want to tribute over your opponent's boards, and because it's an effect monster, you can tribute over your opponent's board, and it doesn't really hurt your strategy in the least. After that, we're playing triple Artifact Lancia because a lot of decks do banish right now, so being able to prevent that going second is pretty good. After that, we're playing 3 Veiler because Veilers is pretty good. Then after that, we're playing triple Cherries. And then last but certainly not least, we're playing 3 Called by the Grave because if somebody Ghost Ogres your field spell, you're kind of screwed. So that's it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Really appreciate it. Any views you guys have on this deck, any ideas, let me know. Obviously, I know that Demise can go in this deck. However, like I said, Demise is in my True Draco, which I will also be profiling as soon as I can finish it and test it a little bit more. I will also be posting duel videos featuring this deck and a couple of other decks, so you guys can kind of see how this deck functions. It's actually really fun, and it's so stun oriented. It's actually disgusting. You just stun your opponent out of the game and make it so that they don't even want to play anymore. But that's it for the deck profile, guys. Eric here with Team Eccentric, and I'm signing out. Rate and subscribe, leave your comments and ideas in the comments section below, and don't hesitate to give us respectful suggestions on content you want to see. Eric on behalf of the team saying take care, and Team Eccentric out.